Josh. Josh is Mr. Convenient. He loves doing everything conveniently, like requesting cab services with his smartphone, grocery shopping online, make payments and bank transfers with his phone, and more. But something else makes him tick, and everyone wants to know what it is. Well, Josh buys and sells stocks all by himself online, and his trading secret, ARM Stock Trade. It's easy. He logs on to www.armstocktrade.com and buys and sells stocks, subscribes for treasury bills and government bonds, views all his portfolio at a glance, stays on top of news and market trends, executes his trading fast, and he does these and more, all by himself. Now that's what makes Josh the coolest guy. Won't you rather be like Josh? Get on board. Log on to www.armstocktrade.com and make money now.
Business Express on Smooth 98.1, brought to you by ARA. Local and global market opportunities safely at your fingertips.
Yes, we're live on Business Express 981 and in the studio, well, virtually, Rotus and Itome. Good morning.
Hi, Rotus. Good morning.
Hi, Itome.
Hi, Itome. Hi, Valentine. Hi, Lagos. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning. Please join the conversation by sending a message on WhatsApp 0809-444-0981. That's our WhatsApp number. You can also join through Twitter. The hashtag is Business Express 981. Take it away, Rotus.
Thank you so much, sir. So yeah, it told me in fact this broke while we were on the marketplace yesterday afternoon. So I had a lively conversation with Kayode Baker and our Smooth FM listeners. The president's approval of 10 billion naira to get Nigeria on the path to a census, and a lot of people, at least on Twitter, we're saying that it's a waste of money, it's a waste of funds. We got other things that we should be using 10 billion naira for. And so he told me I wanted to get your thoughts on, how you see it as far as this decision to put these funds forward for a census. And then also we'll be talking about one of the tier 2 banks that has decided to give out salary loans to non-customers. So, usually banks give out loans to their own existing customers that they have data on, but this particular tier 2 bank is giving out loans to customers that are not part of the bank. So I thought that was also interesting. But let's start with the census. So Lagos, send in your thoughts as well. But he told me I wanted to get your thoughts, starting with the census.
Okay, so I believe understanding the role of data, especially demographic data, as a foundation for informed development planning and also allocation of resources. The census data would not just help lawmakers, but also business owners and many other stakeholders in the economy to make critical decisions. So in my opinion, I think it will help to determine how the government will allocate funds for many federally funded programs, and also would help to give them reliable, up-to-date demographic data for national planning and development. And for businesses out there, and they can also benefit from the census data as it will assist in planning and strategy by giving them more insight and understanding into the environment in which they operate. So I believe it's a relevant data, and I think it is worth it, in my opinion.
All right, so thank you for that. And I actually agree with you. I agree. But why is it I don't know. Why do you think so many people are opposed to it? Is it because of a trust deficit with the government, where a lot of people just don't trust the government, or they think that the money should be better spent elsewhere, or has there not been enough of a awareness campaign on the importance of data? Why do you? I don't know. You can feel free to speculate. Why do you think there's opposition to the president's decision?
Hello, Tommy. Are you there? I think you're muted, Tommy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay. All right, so I think it has to do with trust. A lot of people do not trust how this fund would be utilized, and so I think that's where all of the opposition is coming from, in my opinion. But
hey, Rotus, we lost her for a second.
Oh, okay. Well, look, I'm with her along those lines. I think it's a trust deficit, because we need this info badly. How many people are in Nigeria? I don't know. Some say 190 million, some say 200, some say 206, some say 180. Some
we've
say
been speculating too long, and there's, when you speculate so much, you waste money, you lose time, you lose opportunities. Look at how many FDIs we've lost just because we don't have accurate data.
Exactly.
So think of those things.
Yeah, someone on the listener on the marketplace yesterday said, no, use the 10 billion to build hospitals.
What?
Okay, fine. How many Nigerians, how many hospitals do we need? How many Nigerians visit hospitals for healthcare on a monthly or annual basis?
And how do you even make an accurate estimate as to how many hospitals you need without data, without the right number of people?
Exactly.
So if you want to build a church, for instance, you want to expand your existing church, and you have, say, 50 members, and your members, the number of members of your population is increasing. How do you now, if you don't know the approximate number of people that you're expecting in the church, how do you now estimate the size that you want to expand to? So
there you go. So the thing it spreads everywhere. Look at the conditional cash transfers that the government has been doing. COVID-19 was supposed to be an opportunity for them to use data to collect the information on the people that they were giving the cash transfers to and digitize it. Look at the financial inclusion. Central Bank has a 94 or 95% financial inclusion target. How do you meet up with that? EFINA, the fintech company that did a report on financial inclusion that the government is relying on. They said, I think our numbers are what was the population they put us at? Was it 190 or 180? So World Bank has a different population for Nigeria. African Development Bank has a different population. EFINA has a different population. I mean, everybody's got different. So this thing, it should be hopefully widespread. I would rather the MBS do it, the Bureau of Statistics, than the Population Commission. But MBS, Population Commission, involve the World Bank as many to spread this money around, because it's a very expensive practice, but it's going to help us out in the long run.
I agree with you. I agree. Please send your messages to WhatsApp 0809-444-0981. Tommy, are you still there? I have a Tommy from ARM joining us this morning for this conversation. You can also send a tweet to Smooth981FM on Twitter with the hashtag BusinessExpress981. I have this one message here from, what's your name? Tope from Lagos says, data is life. Mean, median, mode, standard deviation, linear regression, predictive analysis. We need as much data as we can get. Thank you, Tope, for that. Rotus?
Indeed. Okay, Tommy is back.
Yes,
I'm here. Sorry for the break in transmission.
All right, we have another message to go through very quickly. Chika says, I think a good number of Nigerians know that a census is good and important. They do not trust the government to turn it into a political agenda, to not turn it into a political agenda. I'm still grappling with the unemployment numbers. How does SA have worse unemployment numbers than Nigeria? That's a good question.
Exactly.
That's South Africa.
So, it's South Africa's, I won't even get to South Africa, but their labor force and size. Let's quickly touch on the bank that's wanting to give out salary loans to non-customers. Do you think that's a risky move on the bank's part?
Well, I think it's a good move for the bank as it helps them to grow their loan, considering their loan to deposit ratio requirement by the CBN. And the risk there would be the possibility of growth in the non-performing loans and also the increase in the impairment cost. However, I think there was a recent circular released by the CBN in July, and the circular was effective on the 1st of August, and it's titled Global Standing Instruction, and that just basically helps banks to recover most of their loans. And in simpler terms, what the GSI allows banks to do is that it allows banks to debit account of chronic loan defaulters, and so that will help to mitigate the risk of high non-performing loans. So for instance, a customer who has an account with, say, Bank A and gets a loan from Bank A but then refuses to pay back the loan, but you find that same customer has another account with, say, Bank B, for instance, and then that account is like fully funded. There's a lot of money in the account. So this circular allows Bank A to automatically debit the customer's Bank B account without the customer's permission. So this makes it easier for that particular bank, whichever the bank is, to give out salary loans, and as they can easily recover the loans.
Okay, great. Now, what about almost every salary loan? By definition, as it says salary loan. Every salary loan is tied to a salary. In fact, if you think about the number of loans that banks give out, and I understand the risk issues and wanting to make sure that there's money coming in that the bank can get back. But what about the unemployed in this country? What about people who aren't tied to a salary? What hope is there for them that also need money either to start a business or to do something? What about them?
Well, I think if you're unemployed, but then you have a business idea that is viable, sound, and maybe has a long-term growth potential, and you could pitch to people, and then you can also get financing from other sources, such as venture capital and the likes. But if you are unemployed and then you want to get a loan, and probably you don't have maybe any business idea or anything to pitch, the possibility of you getting a loan, in my opinion, is extremely low, because the banks are in the business to make profits, and they need to know how easy it is, how easy it will be for them to, get back their loan. So I don't know how easy it would be for those that are unemployed to, get loans. But then if you have a business idea, or if you're self-employed and then you have like a steady source of income, then by all means, it is possible to get loans.
All right. Another thing, the lending environment, Itome. I was talking to a non-bank lender just yesterday or the day before, and they were offering me a loan at, I think it was about 3% monthly. That is, it came out to what's that? What's times 12? 36? 36. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 36%. Yeah, so 36%, meaning if I borrowed $1 million naira, I'm paying 360K in interest. I mean, I don't laugh.
Do you want the money or not, Rotus?
Is that not mad?
How badly do you need it?
Right, exactly. So savings rates are low. Look at T-bill rates, savings rates, they're so low. What do we have to do to get lending rates down in this country?
Well, I think the issue of high lending rate has been a long-term thing. I mean, in 2010, lending rate, the maximum 2010 was about 22%. So it's not today's news. It's always been there. And in order to reduce the cost of lending, I think what we've seen so far in what the CBN has done so far is that they're trying to, they've cut the MPR rate and all.
All right, messages here. Henry Manuel says, in both theory and practical, demographic data is undeniably useful, but the history of population census in Nigeria is that of deceit, disputes, and delusion. If we do not remove the politics from it, data will be widely inaccurate and disputed like that of 2006. Remember the case between the federal government and Lagos State? Austin from Satellite Town says, good morning. They know what they're doing. Now they've invited foreigners into Nigeria. All of them will now register as Nigerians. Come on, Austin. Dupe from Surulere says, this deduction from another account is a breach of trust and confidentiality, in my opinion. Dupe from Surulere, thank you. Benga Kamu says, data is important, but 10 billion is miserly for census. It shows we are not serious. Only here, you have more people living in the desert than coastal towns. You have to move salary account to bank. Speaking of salaries, to bank, even if you're not a customer. Thank you, Benga. And another message from DD from Alausa says, you guys are getting it wrong. Census figures are usually distorted for political reasons. Planning can be done based on research by organizations. Census is important, but can be done when the country is more comfortable, and it should be done by professionals, not political appointees. Thank you, D. Ade from Lagos, interesting point of view, yes? Ade from Lagos says GSI mandate is with the customer pre-instructions. All loans now require the customer to sign that mandate. Oga Ade, yes, I understand that. As with every other document that you need to sign, to approve a transaction or anything. But when you're in need of the money, you have no option but to sign, right? Except it's not like you contest it. It's not like an employment letter, a contract document that you contest certain clauses and they go back and forth between your lawyers to correct some things. Harry Manuel says, If you're unemployed, you don't need a bank loan. You need employment insurance funded by government. The question is, can the government fund such a scheme? Perhaps no. Omodolo sent in this one. He says, Smooth 98.1 is my darling station here in VIC, Barcelona, Spain. Thank you for messaging, Daniel. He's listening from Spain. He says, my contribution here is, what does it cost Nigerians to properly be counted and have a complete data of us? Spanish people have data of the living people on the soil. They have awarded contracts running to millions of naira for the first baby of the year, for instance. Let our population department be digitized. Get a computer and feed everyone in there. Thank you, Daniel Omodolo, for your message from Spain. And we have this one from Ishaka. Ishaka from Obutameta says, good morning, guys. Although information on our data is critical, the lack of trust from citizens stems from the way the census was conducted in the past. I was in somewhere in Ibadan in 2006 when the census was conducted. The official didn't come for enumeration in our area until the close of the exercise. Government should leverage on technology to improve the archive, or the way the numbers are archived and the way the census is conducted. Daniel says, you can't finance a startup with a loan. Equity is less risky. Loans increase risk in a business. Thank you, Daniel.
Point.
All right, we're out of time, guys. We're out of time, Rotus. Sign out.
Thank you, Val. Thank you, everybody that sent message, and thanks to Itome Edoche from ARM.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Itome, for your insights on today's stories. We appreciate it very much.
All right.
Thank you.
It's more music coming up from now. Next up at 7:30 will be time for Freshly Pressed 981. Let's get into the detailed analysis of our newspaper stories. Check out the headlines on our social media. Just type Smooth 981 FM Lagos.
Business Express on Smooth 98.1. Brought to you by ARM. Local and global market opportunities safely at your fingertips.
Smooth 98.1. Absolutely no one does it better.
Love music. Love life.
Nobody does it better. Yeah.
Meet Josh. Josh is Mr. Convenient. He loves to do everything conveniently, like request cab services with a smartphone, grocery shopping online, make payment and bank transfers with his phone, and more. But something else makes him tick, and everyone wants to know what it is. Well, Josh buys and sells stocks all by himself online, and his trade secret? ARM Stock Trade. It's easy. He logs on to www.armstocktrade.com and buys and sells stocks, subscribes for treasury bills and government bonds, views all his portfolios at a glance, stays on top of news and market trends, executes his trading fast, and he does this and more all by himself. Now, that's what makes Josh the coolest guy. Wouldn't you rather be like Josh? Get on board. Log on to www.armstocktrade.com or download the ARM Stock Trade app on Google Play Store or Apple iOS Store and make money now.